Good evening. Please stand for the presentation of the colors by the Springboro High School Air Force Junior ROTC, and then join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Carry colors. Right, haste. Forward, march.
Thank you, Springboro High School Air Force Junior ROTC. Please be seated. I also want to mention that the Springboro High School Air Force Junior ROTC is the reigning national champs last year by winning the National High School Drill Team last May. So congratulations. I'd also at this time like to give a big thank you out to Kate Cole and our Culinary Arts Department for the wonderful food tonight. Also in front of you are placemats made by our Graphic Arts Department. Good evening. My name is Rick Smith, and as Superintendent of the Warren County Career Center, it's my pleasure to welcome you tonight on behalf of our Board of Education. It is an honor to be a part of this wonderful evening. I would first like to say thank you to all of you for attending tonight and being a part of our advisory committees. You help us stay relevant and current with our students, and we could not be successful without you, so thank you. Warren County Career Center has long been a leader in workforce development and relies heavily on the input of our advisory committee members. It is good to have you as part of our Warren County Career Center family because we are all working together to provide our students the best in education and opportunities. So thank you. It is now my pleasure to introduce Warren County Career Center Board President Bobby Grice, who will introduce our 2017 inductees to the Warren County Career Center Distinguished Alumni Hall of Fame.
Okay, I'm a little short, so I gotta move this down a little bit. Our first inductee is Melissa Morris Hirschner. Please come forward, Melissa. Melissa Morris Hirschner completed the data processing program in 1986, graduated from Franklin High School, and took a job teaching typing at a trade school in Middletown. Over the next several years, she adapted to a new technology and saw that the business world changed to computerized communications and operations. She credits her instructors, Denny Thayer and Christy Lease, with teaching her not just how to type and do office work, but how to be a professional and succeed. In 1988, Melissa took a job in banking as a teller and worked her way up from a banking center manager at the First Financial Bank in Lebanon to her current position as marketing manager in Telhio? Okay, thank you. Telhio Credit Union. Melissa has never forgotten the Career Center, as evidenced by her involvement As a member of the Warren County Career Center Educational Foundation Board, Melissa currently serves as the chair of this group and has volunteered her time and her knowledge in helping the Warren County Educational Career Center Education Foundation raise money and at the annual golf outing and give back to the students through the scholarship program. She has also volunteered at various events to speak as a WCCC graduate. In addition to her involvement with the WCC, Melissa also serves on the board of the Abuse and Rape Crisis Center of Warren County, serves as an ambassador for the Lebanon Chamber, and is on the Chamber's Golf Outing Committee, is involved with Junior Achievement, and served on the We Empower Women Committee. She has volunteered at the Lebanon City Schools Redo Day. Former Warren County Career Center Superintendent Maggie Hess said this in her nomination letter. I had the opportunity to work closely with Melissa on the Warren County Career Center Education Foundation Board. I will always be thankful to her for helping the Education Foundation meet its goals of supporting the educational and career aspirations of our adult and high school students, as well as assisting with fundraising efforts in the foundation. Melissa and her husband of 31 years, Sean, live in Lebanon and have 2 children and 1 grandchild. Congratulations, Melissa. And when do you have time to do anything? Takes a lot. You gotta say something.
I didn't know there was going to be so many people here. Let me tell you. I called Denise today and I was like, do I have to do a speech? And she goes, well, really, yeah, we'd like to. And I'm like, oh, Lord. So I guess I'll kind of tell you a little bit about myself and what brought me to the Career Center and why I've always stayed involved and why it's dear to my heart. But I'm one of 4 children, and I was the only one to graduate with my siblings. So I had 2 older sisters and a brother. They all dropped out of high school or whatever, and I was the only one to graduate. I was the baby of the family, and neither one of my parents graduated high school. You know, they were back in that era that you basically worked and, you know, and it wasn't a lot with the education. You got your education through your jobs and different things. So, but, you know, I would like to thank my parents because they instilled in me a very good work ethic. And I think that's why I do a lot of the things that I do and how I handle a lot of the things that I handle is because of my parents. So I get emotional talking about my parents. I lost my dad, and my dad was the one who always said, nothing in life is free. You got to work. And so that's what I did. And when I came to the Career Center back in the 80s, you know, you didn't hear about it as much, but I went back to my high school my junior year, and half of my friends were gone, and I didn't know where they went. And I called one of my friends, and she goes, oh, we're at the Career Center now. And I'm like, oh, okay. So I'm like, well, I want to go to the Career Center. Really didn't know much about it, but I was like, I want to go too. So I had a teacher that actually taught here, and I went to her house that night, and I was like, how do I get to go to the Career Center? Is it too late? And she goes, well, why do you want to go? So I was like, well, my friends are all there, so I want to go where they're at, you know. And so she told me a little bit more about it, and then that's how I started here. But the Career Center changed my life in so many ways. My senior year, I knew I wanted to graduate, but, you know, you never know what path you're going to go down. But I got the flu really bad my senior year of high school here. And the one thing I can tell you about the Career Center, you are held accountable for what you do. And that was the one thing that they taught you here. If you missed school, it got subtracted from your grade. So you could be an A student, but if you missed a lot of school, it affected your grades. And they held you accountable to that. So that was one way to get you to come to school, especially if you were one that, you know, with regular high school, that didn't affect your grades. You could still, you know, pass with certain grades or whatever. But I got the flu and got really sick my senior year. And That was, I think, in December, and I missed a lot of days of school from that flu. Well, then back in January, I came back. I took a setback and got really sick, and they honestly did not know if I was going to make it. And I think I went down to 80 pounds, and I did not know if I was going to be able to graduate. And Mr. Thayer, my senior teacher, if it wouldn't have been for him, I would have never graduated. So I give him all the thanks. And Mr. Thayer passed away last year. He lost his battle to cancer. But when I finally got back to school, I sit with Mr. Thayer one day, and he was so encouraging to me. And he basically said, and poor Mr. Thayer, let me tell you, there was 5 Missies in our class. So every time he said Missy, Melissa, we're like, what? You know, we're all turning around. So poor little Mr. Thayer had to give us all nicknames, you know, and all that. So we knew which Missy he was talking about. But one day I said, I need to know what I can do to just graduate high school. And he said, you're going to have to be very serious if you want to pass. And I said, I know that. So him and I sit down, he gave me a curriculum of what everything I needed to do, how I could make up my grades, how I did everything. The night of our graduation here at the Career Center, he came to me before graduation started, and he gave me the biggest hug. He said, you graduated second highest in our class, and they beat you by a half of a point. That was huge for me, but if it wouldn't have been for Mr. Thayer, I would have never done that. So that's what the Career Center did for me personally, and has made me into the person I am because of this school and the time that the teachers took and cared about their students like he did. And lastly, I just want to thank my husband. I met him my senior year of high school. We've been married. We just celebrated our 31st anniversary, and he's at home a lot of times doing a lot of the running. My son is here with me, and my grandson, and my son's a police officer, and a lot of times we're having to babysit, but my husband, because I'm in so many community activities or going to chamber things or whatever, I couldn't do that without the support of my husband doing that for me, and I want to thank him and thank him for my family. So thank you, guys. And furthermore, I'm sorry that we actually have to leave. The Abuse and Rape Crisis Shelters Gala is going on right now, and I'm the vice president of the board, and I have to be there. So, thank you.
This is why I love the Career Center. Our second inductee is Chris Wilkins. Please come forward, Chris. Chris completed the Warren County Career Center Graphics Art Program and graduated from Lebanon High School in 2004. He moved to Ohio from Michigan his sophomore year and decided to take a tour of the Warren County Career Center during sophomore visits. He was interested in a few programs, and he said when he met graphics arts instructor Howard Norris, he knew he wanted to be in the graphics arts class. After high school graduation, Chris attended the University of Cincinnati, began working with Butler County Developmental Disabilities, and found a passion for the field. He was hired at the Warren County Developmental Disabilities 2 years later and was there until June 2017. He now works at the Lebanon office of the Southwestern Ohio Council of Governments as a finance coordinator and is finishing his degree in organizational leadership with a minor in relational communications. SWOCG supports 6 county boards of developmental disabilities in southwestern Ohio: Butler, Claremont, Greene, Hamilton, Montgomery, and Warren counties. His work includes helping families with support for their needs. Chris is also a staff sergeant in the Ohio National Guard, a member of the 126th Intelligence Squadron, Space Intelligence Flight, Springfield, Ohio. His duties include collaborating with National Air and Space Intelligence Center and other national intelligence agencies. Whoa. All right. Graphic arts instructor Howard Norris said this in his nomination letter. I had no doubt that whatever Chris chose, he would be a success. As the senior year came to a close, I asked Chris his plans. At that time, Chris was open to opportunities that would present themselves when he entered the world of work or college. When I asked him about his interest in graphic art profession, Chris intelligently pointed out that he might pursue the field of graphics. But should he not, there was a good reason that he attended the school. In one of the most logical explanations, Chris said that knowledge in communications and how to get projects completed would translate to any profession in which he became employed. Chris and his wife, Kaylee, who is now an intake coordinator at the Foreign County Job and Family Services, live in Levelland and have three children. Congratulations, Chris.
Good evening. I would like to start by thanking Mr. Norris and Ms. Marcia for the nomination. It's an honor that I was your selection out of so many individuals that you could have chosen. I would also like to thank my supervisors and coworkers for taking time off their day to write the recommendation letter to accompany the nomination. So thank you. I would like to also thank the committee for their decision to accept the nomination and place me in this Hall of Fame. The Career Center administration, Ms. Peg Allen, thank you for hosting this event. Last but definitely not least, I thank God, and I would like to thank my family, friends for the love and support and encouragement they've provided over the years. When Mr. Norris, when Mr. Norris first informed me that he wanted to nominate me in the Hall of Fame, I instantly started to reflect on my time here at the Career Center, how I enjoyed the atmosphere and that was provided. The Career Center provided me and other individuals another avenue that thrived in a non-traditional academic environment and equipped us with the necessary tools to succeed in life after high school. Mr. Norris always stressed on finding out what drives you and making that a priority in your life. So he took time away from his graphic arts class to go and mentor students such as myself. Finding that thing in your life that drives you and motivates you can be challenging because it causes you to self-reflect. Mr. Norris made the choice to mentor me in his downtime on concepts about life that could not be taught in the textbook. He mentored me about the importance of family, the accountability, being reliable, and also working within a team setting. One thing we had a connection through was football. So he spent time in his lab watching the Northmont Weeboats, because he was a football coach there, and he will reference the different defensive formations that was ran against his unit, which was the offensive line. And one of the overarching goals that I received from that was, on the offensive line, the defense lines up in different formations. And that's just like life. You can go through life in a certain way, but you have to adjust and react to whatever the defense throws at you. I grew up in Detroit with my mom, Ellen, sitting right here, and two sisters. And that was also a very important part of my life because I learned early about sacrifice. Watching her fight and raise 3 kids, and doing whatever it took to provide the best life for us. I really appreciate it. I'm sorry. The Career Center taught me a lot of things that I use today, such as interviewing techniques, acceptable workplace behavior, and also gave me a jump start on developing leadership skills. It was here when I first learned the expectations of the workplace and how to carry yourself. And you wanted to represent yourself in a positive manner. There were so many staff members that modeled this behavior so that students like me could emulate. From Mr. Beasley to Mr. Norris to Ms. Marcia and her role in the office. It didn't matter what day it was or what was going on, Ms. Marcia greeted everyone with a smile on her face and respect. She made going to the office an enjoyable experience. One thing that I took away from Mr. Norris' mentoring sessions was in my junior year, where he stated, you need to go and color the world. Naturally, being in graphic arts, I thought it was associated to that. And this was a weekly basis where he would say, go color the world. I had no idea what he meant. It wasn't until later in my senior year that he explained it. He explained, look at the world like a blank canvas. Anything that you touch is your color. Go and color the world. That made complete sense when I entered the adulthood, and that's how I chose to live post the Career Center. I had to decide what I wanted to be known for, which was a hard decision. After self-reflecting, I decided I wanted to be known as someone that was selfless and gave back. That led to my career in developmental disabilities and also my choice to enlist in the world's greatest Air Force. Working with individuals have been both rewarding and eye-opening. And I love working with the population because of the confidence and the fearlessness that they possess. Such a rewarding experience, knowing that you have a helping hand in maintaining the health and welfare of these individuals. The Air Force helped me build on lessons learned here, right here at the Career Center, and also refine and grow leadership capabilities. The Air Force core values of integrity first, service before self, and excellence in all we do became a motto in how I want to be remembered in my life. But the foundation was laid here at the Career Center. Once again, I'm very appreciative of this distinctive honor. I will cherish this moment in my life. And on a parting note, if I had a chance to talk to any student that was considering the Career Center, I would pass along this message. You will be able to color the world no matter which path you choose, whether it's your home school or the Career Center. But from personal experience, I could tell you here at the Career Center, they will provide a staff that cares for you and that is truly invested in your future and your achievements. Thank you.
After hearing from our two alumni, you can see why your work is so important. At this time, would members of the Warren County Career Center staff please stand and be recognized? Congratulations again, Melissa and Chris. The 2017 OSBA Business Honor Roll recognition is presented to local businesses that provide strong support to the Warren County Career Center. As you know, industry and community input is essential so that the Career Center can meet the needs of our students as well as business and industry. Your involvement is valued and will allow us to continue to provide quality career tech education to the future leaders of Warren County. Please come up on stage to be recognized when I call your name, and please stay on stage until all four are recognized so we can take a group photo. Ohio CAT has been involved with the Warren County Career Center Heavy Equipment and Site Construction Program since its inception in 2001. The company supported the launch of the program in adult education and then the addition of a high school program a few years later. Paul Loren, Cincinnati Regional Manager, has served on the Heavy Equipment Business Advisory Committee and the Warren County Career Center District Business Advisory Committee and has volunteered his time to assist when needed, advocating for career tech education with legislators and the community. Mike St. Clair, Internal Product Support Sales Rep, was named the March 2017 Warren County Career Center Valued Business Partner for his support of the program. Mike provides our students with a first-hand look at the massive operation offered at the service and repair facility in Sharonville. Mike has provided this opportunity for many years, and for that we are grateful. Tomac Precision Machining, located in Lebanon, has opened its facility to host tours for students and teachers. A.J. Shaper, General Manager, has served as the Advanced Manufacturing Business Advisory Committee Chair for 3 years. Along with providing tours of the Tomac facility, the company participates in Manufacturing Day, which gives students a hands-on look at the industry and careers in the manufacturing field. Tomac also participates with the high school Advanced Technology and Robotics program by providing student internship experiences. Mr. Shaper also serves on the Warren County Career Center District Business Advisory Committee. Anytime the district has a need for an expert in the manufacturing field, Tomac and Mr. Shaper step up to assist in whatever capacity needed, including giving classroom talks and meeting with legislators. First National Bank in Lebanon has been involved for several years with Warren County Career Center. Vice President Jennifer Sephardi has encouraged her staff at the bank to volunteer at the annual Veterans Day breakfast at the Warren County Career Center. Her branch managers help during the event by serving coffee and assisting the veterans as needed. The bank provides gifts for incoming Warren County Career Center students each year at the spring orientation event, and help sponsor the refreshments with an annual $1,500 donation. The bank offers free student accounts to all high school and adult students and is working on helping to co-sponsor a banking certificate program for adult students that will include a job fair at the end of the course. The bank has a booth at the junior orientation explaining how student accounts can continue as long as they are a student in higher education, and how they can transition when they start working and choosing an option. Congratulations, First National Bank. Fanuc Robotics has been an excellent business partner and has supported the district in many ways. At the annual Warren County Career Center High-Tech Career Camp, the company hosts a half-day tour for the rising 8th graders. The students get hands-on experience with robotics and get an inside look at advanced manufacturing. Fanuc Vice President John Romish serves as the District Business Advisory Committee on the District Business Advisory Committee and has advocated for the school and for career tech education in the community and among legislators. Chris Weaver represents Fanuc on the Advanced Manufacturing Business Advisory Committee. Fanuc has provided several tours of their facility to both adult and high school students and has assisted with the development of the curriculum we deliver. They were also involved in the development of our Ramtech Lab, which provides training for high school and adult students in the advanced manufacturing and robotics field. Congratulations, Fanuc. Congratulations to all our Business Honor Roll recipients. At this time, I'd like to bring the Culinary Arts Program students to the front of the stage. Culinary Arts instructor Kate Cole, and recognize them for the wonderful food that we had tonight. Thank you very much. All right. Well, thank you again for sharing this moment with us. I know a lot of you have meetings here tonight. And again, we cannot thank you enough for your wonderful support of the Career Center. We're now going to break into advisory meetings. Have a great evening. Thank you.